Hey guys, welcome to my channel and myself your host Pabitra Kumar Sikdar, working as an Azure Cloud Engineer at Microsoft. And today I'll be sharing with you some tips and tricks and some strategy using which you can plan or you can clear your interview for Azure Cloud Engineer role or Cloud Engineer role to be very precise. Let's start. For any for a cloud engineer role, what I would suggest is I'll pick Azure as an example. Likewise, you can plan for other cloud platforms as well. What all services are there? We have, we have compute, we have storage, we have database, then we have networking, then we have IAM, that is identity and access management, then we have AI and machine learning, then we have Internet of Things, then we have DevOps and monitoring and management. So first you plan how many services are there. Then once you have planned what all services are there, you have to find out the subtopics in it. For suppose if I pick up compute, so what is compute in Azure? Okay, you have given the definition about compute. Then what are different types of compute services Azure offers? We have virtual machines, Azure Kubernetes services, then we have Azure functions. So once you know now that these are the major services in Azure Cloud, and under that we have these many subtopics. So you study like this, compute. So if you are planning to cover some services, major services, so compute, storage, databases, these are the major services. And under that, there are multiple sub-services. That is virtual machine, AKS, Azure functions. So you prepare on those, and after completing this, your compute part will be completed. Then you can go to storage. And then storage being the main topic, under that we have subtopics like Azure Blob Storage, Azure File Storage, Azure Disk Storage. And once you do complete these things, then your storage part is completed. Likewise, you have to plan and prepare. So this is the first strategy. Next, what I would suggest is you should plan on not only understanding the basics, but also the application. I mentioned, right, followed by the applications. In real world, if you have understood about the service, then you should also be aware of how to apply that in the real world. For suppose if you know about NSG, that is network security groups, then how you can plan and implement NSG, and what is the purpose of it? So why you need NSG? Because you want to restrict incoming and outgoing traffic via certain ports, via certain traffic, and allow a specific IP address list. Likewise, you have to also understand and learn about their applications. So that will help you a lot. And once you are into the interview mode, or somebody is taking your interview and you know that you are aware of this service, so that person will next ask or check whether you actually know when and where that application is, or when and where that service is needed. So application of those services is also very important. So whatever services you are learning, just make sure you also study about its implementation in real world, how you can apply it in real world. You can take an example in front of the interviewer. The interviewer will be impressed, and the interviewer will be knowing that, okay, this guy has really studied and also knows how that can be applied in the real world. The next one is, as I told, there is an example which I have been showing in the slide as well, managed disks and unmanaged disks. So managed disks, you have explained everything very well, very fine. But when will you apply managed disks, or when will you choose managed disk, and when will you choose unmanaged disks? So managed disks are when you are deploying a production web app for seamless scaling, automated backups, and enhanced visibility, where managed disk is majorly being managed by Microsoft. All the platform updates and backups will be taken care by Microsoft. So nothing should be worried about the management by an administrator. So in those cases, you can select managed disks. And unmanaged disks, where you are running legacy apps, and those are having very complex storage requirements, manual assignments, manual management is needed. That is when you can select unmanaged disks, where you will be managing and you will be having complete control over the disks. That's what the real world implementation or requirement for these particular services, different types of services. Yeah. So next, talking about some of the common issues and solutions. So once you have prepared about the services in Azure Cloud, definitions, their applications, their usage, and their types. Now, the next part is the common issues and the troubleshooting. So, generally, what happens? People who are right now yet now hands-on experience, they do not have hands-on experience, or the freshers who are yet to start their career. So for them, it is very difficult, right? Like to first-hand experience issues and do the troubleshooting. So what I would recommend is, like, there are certain things like connectivity problems, performance degradations, deployment failures, data storage issues, authentication problems. So these are some topics which I have chosen. But for the services which you have prepared and planned very well, you can just pick up those. Like if you have a virtual machine, so for them, connectivity problems is a major problem. For that, you can Google search like what all different types of connectivity problems are there, what all different types of scenarios are there, and how you can perform the troubleshooting. So I have listed down some of the issues and how to find out the resolution way. Like it is just a template. You can follow it in this way, and then later on you can do your own research and find out more different ways to find the troubleshooting. Like for any kind of services, like if it is an Azure VM, if there is a problem like VM is not accessible, VM is down, VM is not booting up. So there are multiple issues. So you can just type in Google like some VM virtual machine, Azure virtual machine, common issues, common scenarios. So you will find those issues. Now next thing what you should do is, once you have found out the issues, then next go to Google and try to find out the common the troubleshooting for Azure VM connectivity issues, the troubleshooting for VM no boot issues, the troubleshooting for VM into crash loop back error. So like that, like you can find out different types of errors, and similarly like top 10 or top 5 errors, and then the top resolutions, like the related resolutions or related troubleshooting methods to answer such questions. So you have to find it in this way. So now what I would say is, in a gist, on an overall, you have to prepare the interview in such a way where you know the definition of that service, like here, like you know what is compute, then what all different subtypes are there and their definition, their fundamental knowledge, and then their types, their applications, and then followed by the troubleshooting. So this is how you should prepare for your interview on Azure Cloud role. And I am very much sure that your interview will be very good. And while giving the answers, always ask questions. Like if the interviewer has asked you, the VM is not accessible, then you should ask, the VM is accessible from, not accessible from which case? Is someone trying to access that VM from on-premises environment? Or is someone trying to access that VM from Azure only, like cloud to cloud? So you have to ask more questions. The more you ask questions, the more you end up getting the clarity on the questions. So people generally, I have seen while I take interview, people do not ask any questions to the interviewer, and they simply go ahead and give the answer. So they do not know what's going inside the interviewer's mind. Maybe the interviewer was looking for a different answer. And though you haven't asked the questions, or you might not have understood clearly, I would say ask more questions. Traditionally, people used to ask, like, do not ask much questions. Yes, I would suggest that you should ask more questions, and that is where the answer lies. So you will have more clarity on the question, and then you'll be able to give a better answer. And lastly, wherever you are giving answer, make sure you should not give the answer in a jiffy. You should first frame the answer in your mind. It has to be logical, step by step. Like start with the initial basic checks, followed by advanced checks. And always have a good communication skills. Like I'm not saying you have to be very top notch, but at least you have to be that good in your communication so that the other person understands what you are speaking. Because you may be a very big shot in whatever you do, but until you communicate that to the other side of the person, it's of no use, right? Like the other side on the table, the person who is there on the other side of the table, that person, if he is not able to understand what you are trying to say or you are trying to convey, then be it whatever role it is, I think you are not a good match, or you are not a good candidate for that particular role. So you have to learn and improve your communication. That is a key strength you should have to crack any interview. And then knowledge. And I have also been telling about a lot of certifications. So I have also started AZ104 series in my YouTube channel. So you can also follow up. And even if you have any doubts, if you want to connect with me, you can connect with me over LinkedIn. You can message me, ping me. I'll give you more suggestions. As I'm working in Microsoft, and if you're also interested to join Microsoft, do follow my channel. Reach out to me over LinkedIn. I can connect with you guys over there, and I'll give you some suggestions, some tips and tricks. And you can also follow my YouTube channel. Do subscribe my channel. I'll be sharing more insights into the cloud engineering role and how to get a job or how to crack a role in Microsoft as well. So need your support, guys. Do like and subscribe my channel, and your support means a lot to me. Thank you guys for this session for today, and see you on another video. Thank you.